What's good? In this video, we're going to talk about a comparison that was made between Deontay Wilder and Monster Inoue's performance last weekend, which was ridiculous, and also talk about this absolutely over the board, gotta change, pound for pound garbage that's going around in boxing, and I just can't take it anymore. That's what we're going to talk about in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe and hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we do more videos. Also check out the Patreon, the live streams that we do, OG Boxing Talk, Sunday mornings, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. All right, let's get to this. There's an article that came out by Out of Boxing Scene where it was titled, Inoue Wilder KOs reignite lust for one-shot monsters. This is so obviously an attempt to market Inoue, the bantamweight, the three division champion. Now, I'm going to get into this 3-division champion stuff in a minute. When you're talking about guys that are down at 115 pounds, okay? 115 pounds, 118 pounds, 122 pounds, where weight divisions are where you have, when a guy can weigh in at a certain weight division, and by the time he rehydrates 24 hours later, he's 3 weight divisions up. The pound for pound conversation, when you talk about guys that small, is completely skewed when in comparison to the guys that fight at bigger weight classes, especially when you take into consideration the rehydration that takes place when you have a day before weigh-in. Before I do that though, I want to go through what this guy said and how he compared this fight from Deontay Wilder to Monster Inoue's. He says a 6'7", 255-pound man was reduced to a flopping fish by a single punch, and somehow it was only the second best moment of the best boxing Saturday of the year. Then he goes on to talk about Monster Inoue. Okay, now notice that he says this title that he has here would insinuate that Monster got a one-punch knockout, when he didn't. It was a second round stoppage where he knocked the guy down, I believe 3 times, and he got up several times, and he winds up being stopped from a body shot on his either second or third time down. Despite what this title is leading you to believe, it wasn't a one-punch knockout. So when you see this guy laying on that somehow that Monster Inoue's second round stoppage of somehow trumps Deontay Wilder's one-punch first round knockout. It wasn't. One was a one-punch knockout, the other one was an accumulation of punches, which ended with a second or third very solid body shot. Now, not minimizing how Monster Inoue looked in that fight. He looked very good. He looked very fast. He looked very strong. He looks like a fighter that is going to be very, very good. But what they're doing here is they are trying to market this guy as being the next Manny Pacquiao. That's what they're looking for, and they're going to try to build the next 5-6 weight division champion. But let's look carefully at what these weight divisions, when they say weight divisions, let's look at the actual weight divisions and see how much weight is between these weight classes. Monster Inoue is a 3-division champion at 112 pounds, 115 pounds, and 118 pounds. pull out your math. How many weight classes are between, how many pounds are there between flyweight, 112 pounds, and bantamweight at 118 pounds? That's 6 pounds. 6 pounds. Remember, we have day before weigh-ins. You can gain if you take the IBF rules, which say that you can only, in the IBF, the International Boxing Federation, is the most restrictive of the weight of the rehydration clauses or rules that you have in boxing. They allow you only 10 pounds between your weigh-in and the next morning, right? And even after that, you can still gain another 3 and 4, 5 pounds from rehydration. So you can gain as much as 15 pounds with the IBF in between weigh-ins. So you could very well have Monster weighing in when he was at flyweight. Come on, man. He was weighing in at flyweight and he was fighting as a featherweight. He weighs in at 112 pounds and he walks into the ring at 126. He's walking up. He can literally walk into a ring after dehydration, weighing in at 112 pounds, start as a super flyweight. By the time he fights, he's a featherweight. But you give guys that credit on a pound for pound list, you got to take pound for pound out of the equation. Because he's not fighting at 100, he didn't fight at 112 pounds. He's probably never fought at a fight at 112 pounds. Probably never walked into a boxing ring after he turned 16 years old at 112 pounds. But then you look at what has to happen at weight classes above that. At weight classes above that, you have take somebody that wins a lightweight title. Between lightweight and welterweight, there's 12 pounds. Between those 12 between 3. But from minimum weight to bantamweight, which is 12 pounds, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weight classes within 13 pounds of each other. But yet people keep acting as if it's the same thing. It's a market. First of all, pound for pound is just a marketing ploy. It's a way to compare boxers to the heavyweight division. But when you start looking at what somebody's doing and saying and rattling off all the weight divisions that they've gone through, when literally there is with 21 pounds, there's 105 from minimum weight to 126 pounds. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weight divisions in 25 pounds. When you get up to light heavyweight, there's 175 to unlimited. There's 25 pounds between the weight limit between heavyweight and cruiserweight. That's the same amount of weight between two classes. Now, again, and I know I like to talk about objections coming into it. I know people go, but they're smaller guys. It's a smaller weight division. Not that much of a difference. You can gain, when you can gain 10 pounds of water, you can gain 10 pounds of water at 122. You can get 10 pounds of water out of you when you're a 122 pounder. At 122 pounder, 10 pounds of water takes you back 4 weight divisions. And you're fighting guys that belong in that weight division? Monster Inoue is probably going to wind up fighting at 130 pounds. But you wonder why, oh man, this is some spectacular weight. Look at how many weight classes he's climbed. But never tell boxing fans, never talk or take in consideration what the weight classes are when you're at a weight class that small. And what is my beef with that? My beef with that is that you make people look like they're accomplishing much more than somebody else that is doing the same thing, if not more, in another weight division. In the heavyweight division, Deontay Wilder, the fight before last, came in, weighed in at 209 pounds and fought somebody that was 260 pounds. He was outweighed by over 50 pounds. The weight difference between a guy at minimum weight at 105 pounds would have to be fighting somebody in middleweight to do the same thing. So first, the pound per pound comparison to any heavyweight is wrong. any heavyweight, because that's not even a weight class. They got to fight whoever. But when you even compare somebody like a Terrence Crawford to somebody like Monster Inoue, somebody that went from 135 to 147, that's 3 weight divisions, 135, 140, and 147 in 12 pounds. And he's fighting guys that are weighing in at 200, they could be weighing in or walking into the ring at 165. It's just not a fair comparison to give a guy at those little weight classes all the marketing, because they've done something that the rules allow them to take advantage of even more so than the big guys do. Errol Spence Jr. is considered a big heavyweight who puts on weight, a big welterweight in between, who after the weigh-ins can put on a lot of weight, can walk in the ring at, say he walks in at 165 pounds, right? At 147, if he probably walks in closer, say he walks in at 160, right? That's a guy weighing in at 147 and a guy coming in at 2 weight classes above. Monster Inoue weighing in at 100, comes in at flyweight at 112 pounds, walks into the ring at 130 pounds. That is 1, 2, 3, 4 weight classes above where he's fighting somebody at. It's just an absolutely ridiculous comparison to allow these little guys to take advantage of that marketing. If you're gonna be honest about it, be honest about how same-day weigh-ins affect and give a exaggerated perspective on the performance of guys weighing in at 105, 108, 112, 118 pounds. But most importantly, don't compare these guys to heavyweights. What this guy wrote in this article is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. To say that the second best performance of the weekend was Deontay Wilder, and the first best performance was Monster Inoue, and to imply that Monster Inoue got a 1-punch knockout when the guy went down 3 times or 2 times, at least 2 times. Come on, man. Be fair. Don't use these guys. Using Deontay Wilder's name to pub up this guy is ridiculous. And I'm sorry, man. I'm not doing it. I want to be a fan of Monster Inoue, but you guys are going to make it very, very hard doing this. The same way you make it very hard on me appreciating another great fighter in Vasyl Lomachenko, because Vasyl Lomachenko is a terrific fighter, but you guys jump out of there and start comparing this guy to Sugar Ray Robinson and the best fighter since Ali. It's just ridiculous. He's got 13 fights. Terrence Crawford, when you look at him and Monster Inoue, Terrence Crawford, who on some people, I just saw pound for pound where people actually have him, Monster Inoue, ahead of Terrence Crawford on pound for pound list. This guy has done it for 35 fights. 35 fights in 3 weight classes. Monster Inoue I'm telling you, Monster Inoue gonna wind up being Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez. How many times Roy Desai replaced him, and now he's gone, and now Eric Estrada replaced him? No, man. I really would like if they would get rid of these go back to same-day weigh-ins. If you go back to same-day weigh-ins, then we'll really see what weight classes people are supposed to be fighting in. And they would have to immediately, Monster Inoue, if you have same-day weigh-ins, probably can't even fight at 118 pounds. He'd probably already be fighting at 130 pounds. So anyway, it is what it is. And let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.